Yes, we can.
All right. So communicating problem behaviors to parents. I have a problem with the word problem, but that's okay. If we put it there for it's a common use, yeah. Okay, so our objective is knowing our own expectation, understanding parents' situation, and communicating with empathy. Um, it's an online session, so I would like to have some interaction because otherwise I feel like I'm talking to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing fine, Angel. I can hear you.
Use
Angel,
yeah. Sorry.
Angel, this is Rosaline.
Yes, Ruth.
Can you explain about the communicating with empathy?
Yeah, hold on. We will go on to the session. Yeah. Okay. So, how do you feel when you have a child with special needs in your catechism class? Anybody? Just turn on your mics and let me know how you feel. What's your feeling?
Special.
I feel it's a challenge because you have to balance both the regular students and the special child. We need to pay attention to them because some certain things they might not be able to concentrate. But sometimes when they feel bullied, you have to stand up for them lah.
Nice. Anybody else? Lynn, you're saying something just now?
Yes, I feel special that we're able to love such person, that
Nice.
we can teach them, guide them, and then also love them more.
Okay. Do we feel tired? Do we feel exhausted, frustrated sometimes? Anybody?
Actually, no. I feel like it's the best thing that I love to do.
Okay.
Because I have one, which I didn't know I had one. My son, who had the disability of the to read alphabet A and B, you know, that kind of thing, which I didn't know it was Down syndrome. I mean, ADHD.
Oh, okay.
So it gave me more time with the children, get to know them, to love them, you know. Then it becomes a very fulfilling thing for me to do. It's very, very nice.
Thank you, Lynn, for that. But
Welcome.
sometimes we don't always have the feelings that Lynn does, right? Do we also have sometimes negative feelings? Do we sometimes feel physically tired? Like, I've tried all these methods. Why is it not working?
One time in my kindergarten, I've dealt with this. Dealt with this girl lah. She's 4 years old. She mother have said she has autism.
Okay.
But she has a lot of tantrum. Sometimes when the mother leave her, she'll start throwing tantrums. She'll lie on the floor. She will, as usual, throw a tantrum. But sometimes I feel sad because most of the other kids' parents, they judge and they complain about the girl behaving that way.
Correct.
And because she have quite can be very aggressive. So I have challenge. So I need help how to deal with these kind of kids.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. And true, just like you, sometimes I also feel frustrated. I also feel tired. Sometimes I'm angry at myself. You know, why can't I do this properly? Maybe I feel irritated, sometimes disappointed. Amidst all the good feelings, we also have some feelings that really weighs us down, right? So I want to shift your attention from just thinking of ourselves as a catechist, but think of the parents, what they're going through, right? 365 days a year, probably. They're going through with their child 7 days a week and 24 hours a day for some whose child is not going to school. So imagine how the parents feel if we ourselves are feeling tired just for 1 hour. Okay, so we want to talk about being aware of ourselves. So within the Sunday school or the catechism class setting, what seems to be the real problem? What seems to be the real problem? Is it the child? Okay, very good. Is it really the child or is it us? So let's see. If it's the child, probably the child has special needs, tantrums, some of you mentioned. Maybe slow learner, she's not progressing as well as the others. He has learning problems. Maybe the child is bad-tempered, or maybe it's fault, right? maybe. This could be real, and it could be also what we are going through as a teacher. We may have some preset judgments, some labels, our time constraint, as most of you mentioned. We have to chase our syllabus. Oh no, I have 1 hour, I have to finish. And sometimes we feel like, hey, it's not my job alone to get this child to, go through this. Somebody else, the parents has to help, the church has to help, my parish priest has to help. So we also have some preset judgments. So it could be a mixture of both. Sometimes it could be our judgments as well. So I want to talk about 3 steps that we should consider before communicating. Communicating to the parent is not just verbalizing, oh, I feel this way, so I tell you how I feel. It's not just communicating. It's not just verbalizing. First, in order to communicate, we have to change our mindset. We have to change how we think, how we feel. And then we have to think of the parents and of the child, and then finally deliver the message to the parents. So first thing for ourselves, we have to follow these 3 things: accept, erase, and focus. We have to accept that children are children, right? Typical children, children with special needs, children are children. We have to accept that. So sometimes children are naughty. Generally, they are naughty. Yes. Some parents tell me, my child is so naughty. I'm like, he's supposed to be naughty, no? Otherwise, he's a robot, no? And we have to erase all our judgments, our comments, and our past memories, all the labels. Sometimes we read on the net, oh, this child has this, and then maybe we say, oh, probably he has ADHD, probably he has this. So we have to erase all that judgments, comments, past memories, and labels, and focus on the here and the now. Come prepared, come early, pray, and come to class with a positive attitude. Okay? Okay, Angel, I have changed now. Now what do I do? So you have to understand the parent situation. Okay, we have to understand the parent situation. So imagine this most beautiful moment in a couple's life, right? When they find out that they are going to be parents soon. Imagine the joy that they're going through, the feelings, the emotions, right? And they're waiting for a perfect, healthy baby to be born, right? So imagine what happens to them when the doctor says, Mommy and baby are fine, but we notice something. Or when the child is 2 years old, you bring for a regular checkup and the doctor says, while everything is okay, I think we notice this. Or when the child is school age, going to school or kindergarten, the teachers or somebody notice and tell you this, Imagine what happens to the parents. What are they going through at this point? And they are being bombarded with some of the terms that they don't even know, like ADHD, PDD, NOS, whatever. They're like, what is this new thing now, All I wanted was a happy, healthy family, and here I am now with this term, which I don't know what to do. Some of them really struggle with it, okay? And so what do they go through? We want to apply this theory by the psychiatrist Kubler-Ross on the stages of grief, which we can apply this theory to what the parents go through. So sometimes they are in denial. They're in denial. It cannot be. It's not true. My baby or my child is fine. He looks like everybody else is fine. Oh, my child is perfect. Maybe this doctor is not good. Maybe this school is not good. This therapist is not good. So let's go for a second opinion, third opinion, if parents are in that stage of denial. Second stage they go through is anger. Why me? Why us? God has no mercy. This faith is a lie. We're supposed to be so devout Catholics. And why are we facing this? No, I'm the only one who has to face this. I had and I had never had anything good in my life. Everyone is happy, but I don't have a happy life. I hate everyone. So they're in that very angry stage. Or you go to the third stage of guilt and bargaining, where they feel that the child's situation is because of them. As parents, they probably feel that I did not do something right, you know. I have parents telling me, is this why a teacher, my child is like this? Because I didn't do this while I was pregnant, because, we were exposed to this. They feel it's their fault. They bargain. Maybe a miracle will happen, that tomorrow my child will be fine. You will just snap out of this. Or I will risk anything just to see my child being okay. I don't mind taking loans and spending on his therapy and all those things because they are guilt-ridden. And then they will tell everyone about it, hoping for, somebody will be able to help them. And then the other stage would be depression, where you see them crying where each time they talk about their child, they're emotionally not stable, trying all methods to forget what has happened. They don't want to face reality, trying to run away from everyone. Some parents have even walked away. Yeah? Suddenly they just decide, okay, no, I cannot do it, and they just pack the bags and go. We have had a case in our Sunday school like that, in our catechism class like that, where the mother she couldn't take it. She was so emotional. She just packed her bag and left, and we didn't know where she went. The father was left with the child by himself. And some even may try to harm the child, or even themselves. So when their parents are in this stage, what do we do? Right? We have to be compassionate and promote emotional support. Listen openly and accept whatever they have to say. Let them cry if they have to, and acknowledge their pain. Please don't play God's role of judging them, or bore them with your advice. Oh, probably you can do this, probably you can do that. Or you want to try to tell them your story. All of us have a story to tell. No, we're always very excited to tell the story. Hey, I had one other student like this. No, let them have that time. Your story, our story can wait for another day. And then the fifth stage is finally acceptance. This is not so bad, where they feel there must be a reason for this. Okay, God has a plan. Okay, I'm ready. Let's move on to the next step. Once the parents reach this step is where we will be able to help them. Now, bear in mind, parents can jump back and forth from the stages. Okay, they can go from 1 minute in depression, the next minute to guilt, and so on and so forth, and they can go back and forth till they accept the situation. So when they come to us, we do not know which stage they are in. So what should we do? So when we see the child in class, think positively. Okay, children can sense your feelings. So imagine if I came here and I said, I'm so excited. Of course, I'm not excited, right? I'm not even showing any excitement. But if you see me now, it's like, okay, I'm prepared. I'm excited, to give you this session. So likewise, children can sense when we are not happy, when we are not positive, when we are angry. They know. So always look for good qualities in a child, right? Sometimes we are very easy or very quick to pick up the negative behaviors, the disruptive behaviors, but instead try to look for the good qualities. And put yourself in the child's shoes and think their age. What would you do in that age, in this situation? What would you do, right? So when you approach the parent on a child's progress after doing all this and realizing that, the parents are going through so much, what should we do when we approach the parent? Okay. So we focus only on the good quality you see in the child for a start. You can write down all the other behaviors that you notice. Whatever you observe, you can write down. But when you want to start communicating with the parents, start with the good quality first. Okay. Show the parent that you really want to help them by your actions and not by your words. All right. Sometimes you always say, yeah, anything you can call me, but then you never give their number. How are they going to call you? Right? And then if you give a comment, offer a solution if possible. You don't just mention things but not give any solution. If you have a solution, offer a solution. For example, if you notice that, oh, I noticed that Stephanie has problem with her writing. I noticed that she doesn't write very well. So maybe you can offer by saying, probably you can have do some fine motor training at home. Fine motors are our little small motors, fingers and all, we call them fine motors. So maybe you can have some fine motor activities for her, which will help her to write something. And if you have to give, or when you have to give a negative comment, use the sandwich method. Okay, use the sandwich method. What is this sandwich method? Okay, so imagine now the parent come to you. Okay, we don't know what situation they are in. We don't know where they're coming from. Probably they're rushing from, some chore, something to fetch the child. Probably the aftermath. We don't have no idea. Suddenly, when the parent comes, we straight away say, "Hey, Mr. John, are you Stephanie? I tell you, today she came into the class 5 minutes and she was okay. No, after that she flipped the table. She went and pulled Jacqueline's hair. Ayo, I tell you." As a parent, how do you feel? Anybody? When I tell you this?
Sad.
Sad? What else?
I'd feel horrible hearing that, morbid.
Yes. You feel horrible when I say that to you, right? Because you're just coming to see me and straight away I'm like bombarding you with all this saying that your child is this and that. And now, if the parent was in the denial stage, how would they react to us? They will be like, no such thing. He was okay in the morning, He's okay. He's normally okay. No, Stephanie doesn't do this. She's normally quite fine. Denial. If they're in the anger stage, oh la la, you're gonna get it. All right? They're gonna give it to you nicely to say, hey, probably you are not teaching properly, la. That is why. Now, what did you do? They're gonna react to you. Or if they're in the guilt situation, they may tell you, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, teacher. I'm so sorry that this has happened. Please forgive me. I think it's my fault. I must have given him the wrong milk in the morning or something. I'm so sorry. I didn't wake him up on time. They're going to be like that. And if they're in the state of depression, like what our friends mentioned, they're going to feel horrible. They're going to feel terrible of what we have mentioned. That is why we have to practice empathy and know where these parents are coming from and their situations. Okay, so probably for a parents who have accepted, when you say in this manner, they'll probably be like, okay, fine, noted. Okay, I'll solve it, because they've accepted, and probably you're not the first one who's telling them. So they know, but at the same time, they feel like, okay, this person is so insensitive. Never mind, I just go with it. No choice. I need to put a child in Sunday school. They feel like that. So we have to understand all this before we say. So use the sandwich method when giving a negative comment. So what is the sandwich method? Always start with positives. Okay, start with positives. So instead of saying the minute, 5 minutes after Stephanie came, instead of starting like that, you can say, hey, hi, John. I noticed that Stephanie was very attentive today, for the first 5 minutes. She was sitting down, she's doing her work. She greeted her friends, she greeted me. She even helped to put the things back into the cubby. And then we can say the challenge. However, what happened was probably something in the environment stimulated her, or somebody did something which I wasn't so aware. She got a little bit upset and she flipped the table over, and she also pulled Jacqueline's hair. But overall, she did great, okay? And she managed to still complete her work at the end of the day today. By the end of the day today, she managed to complete her work. How does this feel now? Anybody?
Relief.
Relief, right? When you know that, yes, there was something that my child did, but however, she still managed to complete. And the teacher here is showing you empathy. She's understanding your situation and she's trying to help you. And maybe you can even ask some questions like, was there anything in the morning that happened? Because I noticed this or I noticed that. So you show that you have interest to try to help the parent instead of just trying to condemn them and tell them that they have such a bad child or something. But you want to show that I'm listening, I have observed, I am not judging your child, and I want to help you. So parents feel comfortable, they feel safe with. Okay. Next thing you should do is offer help if you can. Again, if you can, establish what you want to do and why. Build a rapport with the child, build a rapport with parents, offer practical support, help, and advice. So only try anything if you really want to help the child. Okay. Some of us, we really want to help. Okay. We really want to help the child. So you must establish that, yes, I really want to help this child. So before you even try to help the child, you have to first build a rapport with the child. It's not easy within that 1 hour, but there may be 1 or 2 things that we may notice that this particular child likes. Okay. So like when I first started, I had this one particular boy who was just not communicating with me. He was probably a child with autism. And he's just not communicating with me. And all the other students I was a bit like, how do I get this child to communicate with me? It's so difficult. Then I noticed that he likes to play with building blocks, Legos, and all those manipulative toys. So what I did the next time when I came, I brought one whole box of building blocks, and I just sat down because he came early. So I just sat down on the floor and I poured the whole building block on the floor, and I was just playing with it. And then slowly he came next to me and I was like, yes, what do you want? And then he's like, can I play? And then, we started building a rapport together. So sometimes we can find these little things, who would have thought, right? A box of building blocks can help this child. And this particular student now, he's already doing his IG already this year. So, and he's communicating so well from a person who was non-verbal. Okay, just a box of Lego can help. So also building rapport with parents is very important. You cannot do much if the parents don't confide in you. If they don't trust you, they don't see your genuine need that you want to help them, they're not going to confide in you for anything. Okay. Next would be to offer practical support, help, and advice. Never promise anything beyond your ability. Never promise anything beyond your ability. Don't tell the parents you can call me anytime. Later they'll call you at 3 a.m. You better be prepared for that. So if you're not able to take the call at 3 a.m., then you shouldn't promise that. So maybe you can say, offer practical support by saying that, okay, I'm free from between 5 to 10. If you want to communicate with me, you can contact me at this hours. Okay, and I can help you in this area. What can you help them with? Okay, and give also practical advice. Don't just like follow some internet advice and something, but then it's not going to work for our environment. So give some practical advice that they can really follow. Okay, so again, some practical tips would be try taking the child for a movie or to a playground, call once in a while, send messages, not to comfort, but to reassure them of your presence. You don't have to comfort the parents to say, oh, don't worry, it's okay, it's not okay. No matter how much you say it's okay, it's not okay. So you don't need to send messages to say it's okay, but just send them a message to say, hey, hi, how you doing? If you need any support, I'm free, blah, 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 just to assure them that you are there for them. Okay? And encourage parents to join social clubs, support groups, or other remedial resources that are available in your parish, or even if you know other external groups like the diocese has, groups that you can send them for or ask them to join. Okay? So to communicate effectively, we must change the way we think and perceive matters, put ourselves in the recipient's place, and deliver the message with empathy. So remember, communication is when we communicate something with somebody, with a parent, it's just not about what you say verbally. It's about how you think, how you perceive things, how much you can empathize with them in their situations. and how well you can deliver that message with that empathy. Any questions so far?
I have a lot because right
Right.
now I'm very new to the teaching career. But let's say if I have a child having tantrum, cannot communicate well. Whenever the parents leave, they'll throw tantrums. They will smash things. One time I had a student, she go and smash the cup of, I forgot what drink was that. I think guessing is a milk lah on the table, something like that. And sometimes they will poke other friends' hands and the parents try to find fault with the child. And one time I caught one parent trying to take photo of the things that that child has done when child is not their child. So how can I deal with this situation?
Okay. So, does any other catechist have a solution for our friend here?
Also another one more, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Go on.
How to stay calm with special needs if if they have tantrums, they have suddenly they have like a tantrum. How
Right.
to stay calm?
We address the first one first, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Any other catechist can address this situation?
May I ask how old the child is?
My experience, the child was 4 years old, kindergarten age.
Okay. I have some experience with autistic children. I used to teach them on a one-to-one basis, but not as young as 4. My personal advice would be to actually ask the parents what they do when the child throws a tantrum at home. Maybe the child has a comfort thing that they could take with them. And then before coming to class, maybe spend some time with the child and explain to the child what's going to happen in class. Because my experience with autistic children is that they need to be prepared mentally before they go into an environment. That's just my suggestion.
Yeah, thank you, Yvonne. That's a very good suggestion. Okay, we can use social stories, okay, to explain to the child what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can also do the fading method for the parents' presence, okay, whereby you.
Can you open for me? I'm in a Zoom training, lah.
Sorry?
No, continue.
Okay. So you can use the fading method, all right? So that means you get the parent to be in the class first and gradually fade the parent's presence, not do it like one shot. Okay, so maybe the parent is there for the first time, maybe for the first month or so, the whole hour the parent is there. Then maybe the last 10 minutes the parent is not there, or the last 5 minutes. You can start gradually increasing the time for the parent to be out so that the child is used to the parent not being there. Okay, those are some of the practical things that we do. Okay, and some kids may need, like what Yvonne said, some comfort item, or maybe a place to, calm themselves down, a quiet room, or something that they can fidget with, those kind of things can help. And then in terms of the other parents, right, I think the one way forward is to educate them as well, that what this child is going through, what are we facing? The other parents need to know as well. Okay.
I'd like to comment on that one.
Yeah.
A little experience. I've had some parents who commented on the behavior of a special needs student. So I censure them. I actually censure them quite firmly. Yeah, and I remind them that it is our role to look after, to nurture, and to protect children with special needs. And in this classroom, your child will be taught to do exactly that. and I use a very firm voice. But some people need to be put in their place. Lah. Sorry. But there is, and I tell the students as well. I teach secondary, so the kids are slightly older. But I tell the students from day one, our job here is to learn how to look after, protect, and nurture anyone with a special requirement. There's no other way of moving forward. This is it. So the children kind of fall into place. But yeah, occasionally there's a parent that you have to deal with.
Yes. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, you will always face people having comments and all that. But for me, I don't feel that I want to judge them because I don't know also what they are going through. Probably they themselves are sensitive to sound. They themselves don't like all these things. So we don't know also what the person is going through as well. Sorry, someone else is. Yeah. So we don't know as well what the other person is going through, that particular parent as well. We don't know what they're going through. Probably they are such a protective parent that when they see this happening, they're like, so worried. Maybe they have their own childhood trauma that they've been through. So we really need to educate about the situation that we are in. And of course, inclusivity or acceptance is really not easy. We are really in the baby steps not to say even in our church, even in Malaysia, as an educator for many years, we face this challenge over and over again. So you're not alone, dear catechists. We all face this every single day. But again, we never stop educating our people, right? As I always tell, we have to educate those around us, parents, teachers, everybody, about what is going on, And we have to advocate for these children. They cannot do it by themselves, no? They need us. We need to be their voice, like what Teresa said, we need to sometimes be firm, sometimes we have to be soft, sometimes we have to be that voice to voice up for these kids, to say that they are all children of God and they have a fair share of place, they have rights to be here just as everybody else. And of course, finally, we have to constantly create awareness about individuals with special needs and the challenges that we're going through to promote acceptance. That's all from me. Thank you very much.